Hello, Bill Molyneux here, and this is my final video for the Waterloo game as far as the setup and the rules and such. And a little humor, my wife was down here and she has placed Worf the Klingon in Hougoumont. So I guess the French will never take Hougoumont with a 6-inch tall Klingon figure in the fortifications. Alright, let's get back to seriousness. The Risk Waterloo figure game, right off the bat, the figures aren't painted. And the reason for that is my dear friend Jim McDonald, who I knew for close to, I guess, for almost 40 years, 35 years. He had passed away a few years ago. But his goal and idea was to buy these on Amazon and build Waterloo with these Risk figures. It's taken me a couple years between all the different things I do, and this is where we're at. And you can watch all my other videos about Hougoumont and where I purchase things and so forth. Today's video is our rules and the help that I receive from different people. So, Wargaming History Waterloo. Good friend Martin Knight, Uncle Martin from England, sent this to me. Has a great amount of information. I'll do a close-up of that. And for rules, we had Todd Kreshner's rules, Age of Napoleon Warfare, A Gentleman's War. But I decided to go with, before I was a marshal, I was a grenadier, by the great Larry Brom, who passed away several years ago. I did do a video about his Sword in the Flame system. So, I'm going to go over the paperwork and the rules I'm using, and the maps, and probably you'll have an idea how to do your own fun, simple Waterloo game in your basement with spray-painted figures. And that's where we're at. And you could also use the Warlord figures. But these things are darn inexpensive on Amazon. Alright, let's look at some paperwork. Okay, well, we're going to start off with a close-up of the Waterloo game book by Charles Grant. Very cool little book. Again, this was gifted to me from Martin. So this has been very helpful. And then for rules, we're using Larry Brom's rules, and I gotta say, these rules are great convention game rules. They're only like 7 or 8 pages. And now, the one thing that I have a slight issue with, and Larry, don't be upset with me in Wargaming Heaven, was there's an awful lot of information on this one page in about a 10 font. So, playing in the basement, and it's not necessarily super bright down here, even with my lights. What I did is I've enlarged it into 2 pages that are a little easier for me to read. So, now as far as his rules, one thing I did change is I decided I didn't want to have to roll dice for the movement of each brigade. So I used Todd Kreshner's Warfare in the Age of Napoleon movement rates, just to make it a little easier for me to run this big game. So those are the Sword in the Flame rules. Now you're wondering what did I do to make the order of battle? I used Jay's Wargaming Madness blog. And Jay's blog is on the internet, and he has this map. It's an incredible map, and it lists the units set up. He also has the map without the units. And I tried to be pretty close to his map. I went with each of his squares is 3 inches to my map, to my table of 8 by 5. It pretty much squeezes it all in there. So that's Jay's Wargame Madness blog. As far as my turn tracker, it's from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Half-hour turns. From 8 a.m. till 9:30, we have mud. Simple mud. I'm having my Prussians arrive at 4 p.m. You can leave comments, complaints, suggestions, but this is pretty much how I've decided to have this game play out over the next week or two, or 3 or 4 days, and maybe I'll set it up and play again. What else do we have? Well, we had to have an order of battle, and Jay's site had an order of battle, so I'm using 24 figures for on 4 bases, 6 figures to a base. For infantry, artillery is 4 figures to a artillery piece, and the cavalry are 16s. So this is my French order of battle. Very, very simple. Rather than bore you to death with the totals, we're just going to simply say the French army consists of 8 leaders, 22 battalions of infantry, 18 line, 4 guard. Each of those battalions has 24 little wrist figures glued to a base. The cavalry is a total of 8 battalions or squadrons, 16 to a squadron. And the guns, I increased those. I had some comments from my friend Frank Prez, who's famous in the HMGS world, that my guns order of battle for the artillery was off, and when I checked, it's correct in one way and wrong in the other. So I've changed the artillery to 12 guns for the French. Alright, let's do the Prussians next. The Prussians are pretty simple. So we have division with 2 line, and 2 militia, light cavalry and lancers, and just a few artillery pieces. And they will appear on the flank with the cavalry first, then the infantry, 1 division per turn, per half-hour turn. And that'll start at 4 p.m. All right, our British. Well, as you can see, we have Wellington with a +3, 2 line rifles, and it basically comes out to 14 battalions of infantry and 4 squadrons of cavalry, and I think it's 8 guns. Yes, 8 guns for the British. Now I'm going to pause our camera, do a little view of the battlefield, and I'm going to close out this video. All right, well, here we are at Waterloo, and Placient. Here we have our rifles. Everyone is tabbed and labeled, and flags are all in place. And my plan is to play 3 to 4 turns, and then do a 5-10 minute video of what happened. Play another 3 to 4 turns, do another 3 to 5 minute video of that, and then 2 more sections, so it'll be, I guess, 5 minutes times 4 or 5. So the total video of Waterloo will end up being about 30 minutes probably. I will not bore everyone with me moving the figures and rolling the dice. I will do all that and then a recap after about 3 to 4 turns. Hougoumont, by the way, has got 2 guard units and a rifle detachment. And there's the Prince of Orange. And for those of you that love Sharp, I have a Sharp figure in there giving them a +1 in melee morale and firing ability. So I'm looking forward to this game in the memory of Jim McDonald. I had many people help me with this, and suggestions and ideas from Martin Knight to Derek Barton. The rules can be found on the internet, and Larry Brom's rules are still available. And my little cheat sheet is on the No Stress Miniature Wargaming site on Facebook. And on my wall, I have Rifleman Harris up there from Sharp's Rifles watching over the game. I actually have met him a few times and had a couple beers with him once at a Historicon convention. Alright, we're over 10 minutes. Super long video. Send your thoughts, comments. Who do you think will win? The French with their 22 battalions, or the British with their 14 but in defensive positions? That's about it. Thank you. Stay safe. Be kind. Be courteous. Leave a comment. And I hope Jim McDonald up in Wargaming Heaven will like this game. Thank you for watching.